I'm back with the 41 years of Mills Boon, and I actually searched this author out. I literally googled male Mills Boon authors, okay? Because years ago I met an author called Dennis Bond, and I collect signed books, and he has some books there to buy under the Point Romance line under Denise Bond. Now, they wouldn't let a man write under his own name for a romantic book, okay? The Point books were really big in the 90s. That was Point Horror, like I.R. Stein was really prolific back then. Point Fantasy, Point Sci-Fi, Point Romance, obviously. So Dennis Bond had to become Denise Bond. And that was a really good book, because actually was, I think, one of the best ones out of the Point Romance line. Okay, so from a Google search, I found Gill Sanderson, okay? Now, there's also an article in the Mail, it goes back over a decade, and it's quite interesting, okay, because in it he sets out the criteria for a Mills and Boon. Well, get this, okay, right, this bit here, right. Boon may have moved into 21st century in some respects. Premarital sex is now a regular fixture, but some things are still taboo. There are no one-night stands unless it leads to marriage, and even though it would be quite outrageous, like a sudden upset, a death in a family or something like that, no same-sex relationships, no politics, no religion, no smoking, and no adultery except by accident. By accident, if she'd been led astray and had no idea he was married. Right, here we go. There's also an alarming rigid criteria for the hero and heroine. He must be tall, handsome, fit, and have a good head of hair. He must be attractive, and ideally very attractive. Right. While she may not smoke, be overweight, her suit foul-mouthed, or drink too much, she's permitted an illegitimate child. Right. Okay. Now that's actually changed in a few of the other ones, okay? A lot of the characters are now more curvaceous. It's a very old article, incidentally. But that's the criteria he had to stick with. So, when Amazon actually bought this one, okay? And it's called A Father's Special Care. A Father's Special Care by Gill Sanderson. Medical Romance, Special Care, Mills and Boon, Baby Unit. Okay, so, let me read the blurb. A&E doctor Dominic Tate only discovers he'll become a father when he's called upon to save his premature daughter's life. Baby Eleanor is the result of one passionate night with Petra Morgan, a special care baby unit nurse, and our commitment-shy Dominic is faced with one situation he never wanted to be in. Petra is fully aware of his feelings and seems determined to go it alone. As Dominic finds himself falling for his beautiful daughter, and her even more beautiful mother, he knows he has to face his fears and fight for his family. So essentially, hey, my night stands. Basically, Petra is pretty much at the lowest end of the spectrum, okay? She's got a horrible relationship. Her ex was toxic, cheated on her, stole her money. And then one night, lo and behold, okay, she goes like a nurse's doctor's ball kind of thing. And she has a hookup with Dominic. Yeah, and of course. And then she has a fall and the baby's premature. And so then Petra's friend has to rush to Dominic's hospital to get hold of him to give blood, a total blood transfusion for his baby daughter. Okay, and he's just dealing with the fact. Okay, now Simon also is the doctor who is friends with Petra and is in love with her as well. So basically, it's kind of like a love triangle going on, if you will. Okay, right. And this bit here, but straight away, Petra's mentality is established, and I really, really do not like Petra as a character. Okay, this bit here, right. Right. Dominic was coming to see her. Petra didn't particularly want to see him, but she supposed she had to thank him for providing the blood. She would thank him. She had saved the life of her baby. The thought struck her that her baby was half his baby too, and this she didn't like. But she would thank him, and then he could get out of their lives. Right, that's it. Get out of their lives. As the mentality is, I want nothing to do with you. I didn't tell you, okay? Straight away. Now, Dominic, literally, the day before, found out he was a father. He gave his blood to do a massive blood transfusion. He's AB, which is a very rare blood type. That's just a baby. And Petra's mentality is just to get out, okay? She plays mind games with this guy, okay? She really does, okay? Let's bit here, okay? Right. This is when, after Dominic comes in. I want you to understand this. I only agreed to see you because you saved my baby's life. I don't want to see you again. I want nothing from you. I'm making arrangements for the future and I don't include you. My baby and I have the need of you. You can with your life and I can with mine. Petra, you ought to do nothing. You owe me one thing, and that is to leave me alone. I don't need you. I don't want you. Now go. And her mentality is at this time is I've got friends who will take care of me. Okay, I've got other people to take care of me. Basically, I'm going to become a burden on other people. Okay, and then also Simon comes into the picture. Someone who Petra has no idea Simon's in love with her. You know, it's glaringly obvious. The fact is, okay, he ran to the other side, to of the area to get hold of Dominic to get the blood. Okay, right. Right. And the fact is, okay, Dominic brings up the fact, okay, that Simon loves her, and Petra's mentality is straight away just to do this, right? The past few months, I've really been concerned with myself and my baby. I've not been noticing much about what else is going on with the world. Anyway, what concern of it is of yours? I thought struck her and said angrily, I suppose you think that if you could palm me off on Simon, then your own conscience will be easier. And all he did was bring it up, okay? She seems to be punishing this guy, and he's done nothing wrong. In this situation, Dominic is actually the victim in all this, okay? Petra's mentality is it's all about her, okay? She is that horrible as a person. She gave birth to a premature baby. She's going through the motions. She blames everything on her pregnancy hormones, okay? Right, right. But Dominic is basically trying to do his best. He's just thrown at the deep end with this. And he's like, well, let me do what I can. You know, I'll help get you settled in a flat. I pay, obviously, okay, child allowance, maintenance, that kind of stuff. I'm the baby's father. Basically, yes, I've got rights. And this bit here, right. Dominic, I want nothing from you because you're nothing to me. Okay? Right. A small smile, it almost seemed like reluctant admiration, but then his voice became completely neutral. He said, Petra, as responsibility to your child, whatever you feel for about me, you can't let your pride stand in the way of the baby. You'll be punishing her to please yourself. And he's right. And he's absolutely right. Right. And the fact is, at this time, people in both Dominic's life and her life are coming running around for her. And I don't know, this bit here struck me as how horrible that she really, really is, okay? Because she throws it back into Dominic's face, okay? Almost straight away, I don't want you, I don't need you. But then acts like a victim about it. Like this bit here, okay? She reached for the package he had brought her, stripped aside the wrapping paper. A very expensive box of chocolates. Good, she would enjoy them. Put aside the cellophane, she found that it had been slit and envelopes inside. She opened the envelope to find a congratulations card. There was a message. He's not all that bad. May I see the baby sometimes? Congratulations, Susie Cash. Then there was a telephone number. She blinked. For a moment she had hoped the card had come from Dominic. Do you see what I mean? Okay? And then further along, Petra's still in hospital, and Dominic being a doctor, okay, he's got to go to a conference. He has to go to Amsterdam, okay? And while this is going on, Petra comes into some money, okay? She gets like a nice little cash bonus. She can start her life, okay? So Dominic comes in, and whilst he's in Amsterdam, he's done this, okay? Right. Right. I was passing a place and I brought you this. She opened the package, took out the christening robe. Dominic is lovely. She leaned over and kissed him on the cheek. It was the first time she kissed him since that night. It was meant to be just a friendly thank you kiss. She said she was surprised how much it set his pulse racing. Okay? Right. Here we go. And I got some good news for you, she said. Some really good news. You didn't want this baby, did you? It came as a shock. You had a baby should be planned, so you didn't want this one, did you? Well, it doesn't matter now, I have to say. I was really impressed by your offer of the flat, and you really impressed by your offer of the money and the allowance. It was kind of you, and honourable and generous. Now it's not necessary. I don't need the money. Okay? Right. Here we go. And then straight away, after Dominic's been bonding with his daughter, okay, Petra once again turns around again and says, well, I don't need you. This is it. Ella and I are completely independent. We can look after ourselves because a premium bond came in. Here you go. Thanks again, but this is goodbye. Alright. We might bump into each other occasionally. I gather your A&E department is moving here in 6 months. Okay? But otherwise, be back to a situation where you don't know about the baby, forget us, and so forget us both. But I do know about her. I can't just forget. And anyway, you invited me to the christening. You come if you want, but you never wanted a baby, did you? Right. But not an unexpected one. You made it quite clear. When you found out, you were horrified. and now you don't have to do anything for us at all. Go back to your old, happy, carefree life. I thought you'd be pleased. But what about you and me? There is no you and me, just a memory. She's just pushed him out again. Because look at me, I got some money. I got some money, yeah. I don't need you anymore, Dominic. After, you know, your friends bought me lovely expensive chocolates that I love so much, and you bought me a christening gown, okay? I'll be come to the christening, but you're not going to be the father. She's such a bitch. Okay? Right. 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 Let's be here, though. Right. This is when Katie's reflecting on her situation. She found that she had been pregnant. She decided at once not to tell him. She made a mistake. It would be hard enough bringing up a child. She didn't want the additional problems of having to deal with a man. Felt like he'd been unfairly trapped. She'd been unfair to him. He'd been entitled to know. And he should have guessed that was the honourable man who would have wanted to do the right thing by her. And that was the problem. He would have done the right thing out of duty, out of a sense of obligation. It wouldn't have helped her out of love. And love was what she wanted. So many people have children and they don't love each other. One night stands, marriages break up. There's a whole kind of, oh, what, I'm punishing this guy because he doesn't love me. Now, the fact is, okay, her mentality of I don't want Dominic in their lives was, he basically said after their first hookup, okay, it's just going to be a one-time thing, okay, that's it. And that's her mentality, it was, you don't want this baby. Oh, she's such a horrible person. I hate her. Right. Here you go. But then you find out, okay, why? And it's because of Dominic's dark and troubled past, okay? Right. So, what happened was Dominic had a partner, Alice, who, their relationship was a bit toxic. They were argumentative, but Alice got pregnant, okay? Let's put it here, okay? Right. Decided to not to get married, much to my mother's invitation. This is from Dominic's brother, Jack, okay? Right. But things are going fine. Alice had a scan and knew the baby would be a little girl. Then one evening they had a really big row. Alice had a little sports car. Perhaps it drove too fast, we don't know. Perhaps there were other cars on the road. And too many drunks. Anyway, she crashed and rolled off the road. They got her to A&E. She was barely alive. And she died and so did the baby. Okay? And so Petra knows her Dominic's past, okay? The fact is, okay, it's going to take him a while to get used to this because obviously, okay, his previous partner and baby died. But it's a whole kind of, well, I want love. He has to love me, okay? He has to love me, yeah. Right, it's been here. Right. And the fact is, okay, that she's very judgmental, okay, of even her fathers and childhood in general, okay? The whole kind of concept is the fact that I'm mother, I know best. Right, let's be here. Right. Mother's love was something much more intimate. Father love tended to grow more slowly. She had seen it grow often enough in a unit after the first fright of seeing a child so small, and Dominic was shown all the signs of growing to be a loving father. Already she had seen the way his eyes turned to his child. In her mind now, there was no doubt Dominic would grow to love Eleanor. This was left one thing. What did Dominic feel about her? She's a bit pathetic, okay? It's the whole kind of, right. Oh, I'm not going to love this man. Even though I know, okay, what happened to him, okay? I'm not going to love this man until he shows that he loves me. This bit here. Made to herself she could easily fall in love with Dominic. She didn't love him yet, not quite. She didn't think she loved him yet. She had a baby to consider. She couldn't love him until he shows some feeling for her. So I'm not going to love you, Dominic, until you love me. Even though, do you see the problem with this character? She's absolutely horrible. Okay? Right. And the fact is also, okay, is this now Dominic's family seems straight away, okay, to rally around for Petra. They, you know, knock on the door. She meets her youngest niece, Penny. They kind of like get into her lives, okay, but it's still happening, okay, whilst Dominic's not there, of course, okay, so it's kind of like it's Dominic, his family, her, okay, right, right, right. You don't have to look after us, Penny said tautly. At this moment, I can look after myself and after Eleanor. We're independent. We select our own friends. We don't actually need you. Trying to look at him, I could tell by the scowl on his face that it wasn't the news she wanted to hear. She added, but we are enjoying your company this morning, aren't we, Eleanor? And this is when, okay, after they've met each other's families, met a grandmother, and that kind of stuff. Right. The word you're looking for is love, she said. And if you can't say it, I'm sure you can't feel it. I think that wraps things up between us. Okay? She's punishing this guy. He's done nothing wrong and she's punishing. She's punishing him. Okay? But then, okay, she softens her stance with the constantly insisting the same kind of day is we don't need you. And then she's, you're so good to me, you make me so happy because they have a second hookup. Okay? Right. And also, she's so good at, even though she is communicating with Dominic's family, Petra is so good at cutting Dominic out of his own child's life. Like this bit here, this is the christening, the gown which she actually bought, which then Petra turned around again and said, oh, we don't need you anymore. Okay, right. Arrange to have Eleanor christened next week. I've asked Simon to be the godfather. Jack is going to be the other godfather, Jack her brother, and Jane, Casilla's wife, is going to be the godmother. I see you seem to have everything so well in hand or carefully organised. Even my family, his voice was cold. The Ennis family, too now, and they want Anna to be part of them and to be carefully organised. But when you're a single mother, you have to learn to rely on yourself. Right. There's a little point in going over what's already done. I take it I'm invited to the christening. Of course, after all, you're the father. It's to be held at St. Paul's Church. Here you go. Yeah, and also, right. And then the whole thing, okay, of, Dominic loves his daughter but doesn't love me, so I'm going to keep punishing him, and keeps going over and over again. Okay? Right. And this is when she's talking to a friend Chris. You don't want the situation to continue, so I'm going to give it a time limit within a month, 2 months, 3 months. Either he comes to some sort of agreement with you or you cut him out of your life forever. What she'll be attempting to do that. So after her family, so his family, because Petra's an orphan, is buying her stuff, giving her love and support. She's being being a godparent is what, to shut Dominic out completely? Oh, because he doesn't love me the way I think I should be loved after I've had pregnant after a one night stand. Right. And also, after this, after the christening, which Dominic doesn't come to because there's an accident at the A&E, Simon, the godfather, does a nice speech thanking the A&E doctors. Okay, that was quite a nice touch. Dominic is in an accident, okay? And so Eleanor gets the call, okay, she rushes to the hospital because Dominic has severe brain trauma. Okay, he's actually trying to save a life and he was hit by a car, okay? And he has severe brain trauma, and she even says this, okay, to the consultant. Right. Dominic, this is to the consultant, okay, the surgeon. Dominic Tate, mother and wife, eh? Mother and partner, say so quickly. Well, so you had to pull from your beds, right? But the fact is, okay, everyone just, says she's the partner, and she's not the partner, okay? She's just horrible, okay? And this bit here, now, Petra, in her mind, okay, she's so goddamn wonderful, okay? She deserves to be loved the way she thinks she should be loved, okay? Right? Is this, what is the mentality? Is no one's ever tried this at all in the history of mankind, okay? Right, here we go. This is when Dominic's in a coma. Right. After all the tears came to her eyes, would it ever work? Would he ever talk to her again? Hold his daughter? His daughter, Petra had no idea. He hadn't responded to words from his mother or her lover. What about his daughter? Okay? And of course, after putting the baby, okay, on Dominic's chest, Dominic wakes up because no one's in the history of mankind ever thought about this before, but Petra's so marvellous. This bit here. Right. Petra remembered the old wise tale that her mother could hear her baby cry in the middle of the storm. But for fathers, no storm, but and again the loudest cry yet, indicated that she was not going to stop. And of course Dominic wakes up, but he's got brain trauma, so he's got to recover in his own time, and so he just moves in with Petra and the baby, and they become a happy family, and they move on from there. Now, since this was a novel written by a man, okay, it's quite interesting. It kind of felt like a parody at times. I actually will give Gill Sanderson some respects, okay. He created a woman who, in any other, I think, Mills Boon novel, I think if it was written by a woman, it would have treated a bit more sympathy. But the way he depicts Petra is a way, okay, it's kind of like a cautionary that no woman could ever be like this in the real world, and if they are, I feel sorry for you, okay? But it made me think of when the film as good as it gets. When someone says to the Jack Nicholson character, Melvin, how do you write women so well? And he says, it's on an author, I'm going to find out the author is and put it under. I think of a man, and then I take reason and accountability. Okay? That's it. So, a Mills Boon novel written by a dude, Gill Sanderson. It's actually worth a read. Reading a Mills Boon novel in a way, okay, written from a male perspective, because in this book, Petra, who should be the victim in all this, is just turns into a horrible person. Okay, so sign off here. 41 years in Mills Boon. Bye now.